Yeah, we ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped. Sitting high up on the throne. Put my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Yeah, we ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped. Sitting high up on the throne. Put my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Yeah, glowing up, but we still trapped. That's how a nigga survives. Flowing out, got the crowd packed. Yeah, that's how a nigga provides. Y'all insta this, y'all snap that, y'all diss this, and they snap back. Another mass shooting in the headlines. I'm like, damn, where that attack at? Cause y'all think this about race. They font that shit in your face. It's like every day it's the same agenda. It's really not that hard to trace. Fuck it, we might as well face it. Accept it, whatever it's wrapped in. There'll come a day when they run out of grace. So me and my niggas stay trapping. Yeah, ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped. Sitting high up on the throne. Put my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Hey, someone be too who I wanted to be and then what I became. Ended up going my own way, but I couldn't stay in my lane. Now if I'm honest, I've taken a liking to wearing these chains. They hold me down, make it easier when I start feeling the pain. Out of the overflow, your heart, they say your mouth speaks. Well, my heart must be fucked up, cause I can't speak and I can't sleep. So I stay woke in this daydream. Got shit to do, got the world to see. Got the same crew, got some new fleets. This an empire, fuck a boutique, that's real. I only say what I feel, got a new plate with the same meal. On a new hype with the same chill. Y'all too fake, I stay real. Got cast down from heaven, but I'm too good to stay in hell. I don't know where the story ends, but I keep writing like, oh well, oh well. Yeah, I keep writing like, oh well, oh well. Yeah, hey, I don't know where the story ends, but I keep writing like, oh well, oh well. Yeah, we ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped. Sitting high up on the throne. Put my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Yeah, we ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped. Sitting high up on the throne. Put my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Yeah. One song that you heard so many times, and every time you hear it, you're like, I'm not gonna bump to this song, but then you start catching a vibe. I'm sorry, not sorry. Yeah. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Love with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Love with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Love with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Love with the gang, 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 gang. You know. Yeah. Whoa. East Coast with that gang, gang. You know we don't play games. Whoa. Hop up on that wagon. Oh, please just get out the way. You know we stay stuntin'. Right up in your face. We sorry, not sorry. We just stuck up in our ways. West Coast, go ahead, stand up. Put that glass and hands up. Gang, 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 we famed up. Got that change, we bagged up. True love, we stay manned up. Ahem like I'm wheezy, yeah. Rap game just too easy. Drip so sick, I'm queasy. Whoa. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Love with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Love with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Love with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Love with the gang, gang, gang. Yeah. Watch me finesse, walk to the line. Good versus evil, God in his prime. Always in prime, always on time. Our time to shine, wifey is fine. I'm doing fine, glad that you asked. God fill me up, mud in my glass. God clean me up, all that I ask. Wherever you headed there fast. I am ahead, you are in last. Last time I checked, you were all gas. Gas in the whip it up fast. Fast and all furious, I'm starting to spaz. Getting all curious, you put me on blast. Blasting that Darius, kids in the back. Back to the future is black. Black like T'Challa, Wakanda attack. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Love with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. yeah, hey, yeah, yeah, hey, yeah, yeah, if I see it, I cop it, yeah, hey, yeah, let's go, We at the top, if I see it, I cop it. All this guap, if I see it, I cop it. Got some new drip, if I see it, I cop it. Saw that new whip, if I see it, I cop it. Need a new grip, if I see it, I cop it. Lots of shrimp, if I see it, I cop it. I'm not kidding, if I see it, I cop it. House off the grid, if I see it, I cop it. We at the top, if I see it, I cop it. All of this guap, if I see it, I cop it. Got some new drip, if I see it, I cop it. Saw that new whip, if I see it, I cop it. Need a new grip, if I see it, I cop it. Lots of shrimp, if I see it, I cop it. I'm not kidding, if I see it, I cop it. House off the grid, if I see it, I cop it.
Yeah, if I see it, I cop it. Running through stores, if I see it, I rock it. Yeah, girl, if you see it, I got it. Run it up more, we need all the profit. 100 racks back up in summer 16. Spent that whole bag on a whole summer dream. Life's complicated, no Avril Lavigne. Copped a new condo to blow off some steam. All these rappers just rapping in triplets. Pushing that product, just got a new shipment. Pushing that road 50 over the limit. Cushion that blow, I don't get why they with it. We at the top and we throwing the game. All of these peasants will know of my name. All of these blessings, we staying the same. The drip is fluorescent, I'm going insane. Royal genetics all up in my veins. Back me a real one and gave her my name. All of these issues, but no one to blame. Praying that God will just show me the way. Changing the game, got the source code, and I'm off-road and my horses go skirt. One in the same day, of course, no, we in first, yo, all my niggas we were. Fake in the fame, but we all know, cause the source told all you niggas just learn. Talking and saying y'all pseudo, and it's true though, y'all just popping them perks. Taking the stage, got a few shows, let the crew know it's a cloud in the dirt. I am the king and it's my throne, y'all are kind though, they keep calling me Zerks.
Be at the top, if I see it, I cop it. All this guap, if I see it, I cop it. Got some new drip, if I see it, I cop it. Saw that new whip, if I see it, I cop it. Need a new grip, if I see it, I cop it. Lots of shrimp, if I see it, I cop it. I'm not kidding, if I see it, I cop it. House off the grid, if I see it, I cop it. We at the top, if I see it, I cop it. All of this guap, if I see it, I cop it. Got some new drip, if I see it, I cop it. Saw that new whip, if I see it, I cop it. Need a new grip, if I see it, I cop it. Lots of shrimp, if I see it, I cop it. I'm not kidding, if I see it, I cop it. House off the grid, if I see it, I cop it.
We only got one life, I'ma get that. If you with that, do not sit back and just wish that you had it. Despite all your witchcraft and your riffraff, this is my gift and you wish that you had it. Tonight, gonna bump trap, gonna thump that. Drums in the back and you know that we have it. Girls like where the one at, need to run back. Flee from these niggas, you know that they savage. They acting macho like they Randy Savage. They call me Pablo, the kingpin is at it. I am Apollo, you Rocky, I've had it. Y'all can just follow cause niggas is slacking. I am Jack Sparrow, my verses is cracking. I am the ghost and you rappers is Pac-Man. Out in the coast and I'm getting more blacking. Y'all acting hairy, I'm grabbing the waxing.
Top, if I see it, I cop it. All of this guap, if I see it, I cop it. Got some new drip, if I see it, I cop it. Saw that new whip, if I see it, I cop it. Need a new grip, if I see it, I cop it. Lobster and shrimp, if I see it, I cop it. I am that kid, if I see it, I cop it. House off the grid, if I see it, I cop it.
He's heating up!
Come up, ayy. Let's be with that drama, ayy. Saw that fatty mama, ayy. Told her I don't wanna, ayy. Come up, ayy. Let's be with that drama, ayy. Saw that fatty mama, ayy. Told her I don't wanna, ayy. Went out, caught me a red fly. Too many people on a bandwagon. Dumb band through that hellfire. Came out lethal like a red dragon. Same old rapper with the same old flows. Color dreads with the pants sagging. Got that fame, but you sold your soul. You a warlock, I'm the dark assassin. Said thick stacks, mode change, big bags, faux chains. Get that money, said big facts, no games, big stats, mo fame. We back stunts, said big names on stage, big trap, no shame. Going in, running that big check, my name, sign that, more rain. Come back home and just come up, ayy. Let's be with that drama, ayy. Saw that fatty mama, ayy. Told her I don't wanna, ayy. Come up, ayy. Let's be with that drama, ayy. Saw that fatty mama, ayy. Told her I don't wanna, ayy.
Give me all the bacon and eggs you have.
The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Yes, fat phobia causes incredible harm.
First of all, bitch, I'm a fat ass.
Our whiteness is part of the problem.
Ouch, my ribs.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
Swole Normus.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testing, testicles. Ooh, welcome everyone to episode 3008 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gamecast, mancast, pimpcast, sleevescast, and slaycast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, bustas, husses, and yahos? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode, and today's episode of the Beastcast is brought to you as powered. It's sponsored by Everston K2 Flexing on all you
The fucking Catalina wine mix.
All right, fam, welcome to the show. Welcome to 3008. The Falcon forgot the swole card today, but it is Game Train. It is Game Train. So let's finish this right now. I will take over. I will do it, Falcon, because you can't hack it. You can't hack it. I'm tired of this stuff, Falcon. I'm tired of this. We are going to do it. You know, if you want something done right, you got to do it yourself. So 3008. Now we have a Game Train. No thanks to you, Falcon. No thanks to you. Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Got to do your job for you. Yeah, exactly. Well, welcome to Wednesday, July the 31st. This is the last day. The last day of July. We are out the door. We're out the door. We're into August. Hashtag Game Train for a chance to win today's swole card. And I'm noticing in the chat that a lot of you are getting your P3S10, P3SX in the mail. Alabastard says, got the P3S10 in the mail yesterday. Possibly my favorite so far. That is, wow. That is humbling. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. Thank you for everyone that supports the signature series that jumps on those exclusive designs. Of course, we'll have another one in 92 days. Melissa says P3S10 is the tits. That's the best part. That's the best part of the signature series is when we've done, 9 of them so far. And then people get the 10th one and they're like, this is the best one yet. So I appreciate it. I'm glad you like it. By the way, P3S11 will be going out soon, probably in a little bit, and you're going to like that one as well. And we have no shortage of designs. They're just going to keep on getting better, keep on getting more awesome. So anyway, hit the like button. Thanks for being here. Welcome to the show. We are coming up on our app release later this summer. Very excited for that. Make sure that you go over to swolenormousx.com and join the fam today to get access to all the programs, the new releases, the yoga, the master classes. We got a lot of stuff coming this year. Big stuff with Swolenormous. I would say 3.0, 4.0. I'm not sure what iteration this technically will be, but this is going to be huge with the app. So I'm going to keep on edging you, and I hope that you are just on the brink of busting, because it is going to be worth it. Let's get into today's episode. Thanks for being here. Hit the like button, subscribe. And if you're not yet listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, if you want to get access to all the episodes, make sure that you subscribe over at Apple or Spotify. I think a lot of you listen on Spotify. You could watch on Spotify too and leave a 5-star review. Make sure you catch the weekend episodes over there on the podcast, because you're getting a lot more knowledge cock over the weekend. So make sure you go and check those out. Tomorrow, just before we get into today's episode, is Thursday, of course, but that means that it's our round table 72, is it? Round table 73. Yeah, that's right. 72 was last time, or maybe I announced 72 and I was wrong and we have an updated thumbnail. But tomorrow, August 1st, is round table day. We do 2 of these every single month for members only. Again, you could join over at swolenormousx.com, lock in your membership before we launch the app. Thursday, August the 1st, tomorrow. That's tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern time. So be there for that. It's awesome. It's going to be great time with the fam tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. Eastern time. And of course, if you can't catch it live, you have the replay available inside Swole Enormous X. So tomorrow, Roundtable 73 is going down. So be ready for that. Now let's get into that tip. Yas beaches. Babe, just an inch. It's cold outside. Yeah, I get a new braid tomorrow. Gonna be looking sharp. Gonna be sucking down some bull milk, the new bull milk merch. I'm gonna be sucking down on that, sipping on my bull milk scissorp with a freshly trimmed beard. Doesn't look that bad right now. I don't even brush it. I haven't brushed it at all. It's maintaining pretty nicely, but I will be cleaned up. I need to get my hair trimmed too, because I got a lot of knots and shit and dead ends. Time to trim back the bushes, Get ready for Swole season. Swole season's coming up right now. It's summer of Swole. Julia, first post from the Swole fam. Julia says, hello, new to the fam, but a huge fan of the gym. I'm so excited to have finally joined the Swole fam and to start a new step in my fitness journey. I've been listening to the podcast for a while now, and it is my favorite podcast. Oh, Julia. I'm excited to get more into mobility exercises and learn yoga. I am currently bouncing back from an injury, and I have degenerative disc disorder, so those will be key essentials for me to understand and utilize since I have lost so much mobility over time. Who is ready for an awesome week of big gains and hard-ass fucking work? Well, I'm right there with you. Welcome to the Swole fam. Julia, it looks like you are no stranger to making sick fucking gains, and we are stoked to see how many gains you will make with the Swole fam. So if you want to get more into mobility and learn yoga, I don't think there's a better place. We have over 400 yoga and mobility classes. And let me tell you, the app is so amazing to use for all of these features. And man, I cannot wait to. I've been vague as we go into these posts. I've been vague with all the details because I want to make sure that it is exactly the way I want it to be in order to promote it properly. And it seems like it's going to be, as always, as I've been finding out in this process, I've been getting more and more excited. And I know that's rubbing off on all of you. And I'm not just trying to fluff it up. It is better than I anticipated. The logging, the tracking. We were talking the other day. Someone asked, are you able to track your workouts? And the answer is yes. You're going to be able to track a lot of things. And of course, when you download the app, when you get access to it, you're going to see how you were able to track your training and so much more in a very dynamic and just a very fundamental, understandable way. It's going to be it's going to have a lot of variety in what you're able to track and how you're able to track. And you're going to be able to kind of track in the manner in which you want to track, which is even more vague, but good. Enjoy that vagueness, that vaguity, because, oh yeah, it's going to be awesome. So you're going to be able to track whatever the hell you want, and I'll explain that when it launches. Ren says, hello, fam. I've been in France and Italy for the last few days, and I must say, the food is amazing. Real whole food and not a bunch of fast food places everywhere. I'm walking miles every day and just loving being outside in the sun. Paris and Rome are very walkable cities. You don't see a bunch of obese people here. I hope everyone is well, and GTTFG. Well, good for you. Enjoy. And be safe over there. There's a lot of shit going down, so be safe and keep on posting about your sweet walking gains. Let's get into a couple of emails. How soon can you see results? If you're not on the email list, go to makeemailswoleagain.com. We got this response. Please respond if you get the email, and you should be get on the email list. Makeemailswoleagain.com. Get on the email list because you'll also be notified on the email list when the app is available for download. So, of course, you'll get a Swole text I'll be talking about on the show, but it's another way that you'll be notified. So make sure you get on the email list for the daily emails and also for all the other stuff. Hernan says, hi, Papa. Been hitting the gym this week. I have tons of work to do and my truck just broke down, but no one fucking cares. I'm getting 3 full body workouts this week and a 4th reinforcement day if I can. It's simple. I can, I will. End of story. Thank you forever, Hernan. Well, sorry to hear about your truck, but stoked to hear this attitude about I'm getting it done no matter what. I'm going to do it. Good for you. Good for you. That's fucking gorillas, bro. That's solid. That's a great email. How soon can you see results? Mike says, Papa Swolio, as I said in my Swole text, I will be working on mobility and nutrition, mainly on hydration. My training routine has been particularly difficult over the past couple of months. I've had to deal with the deaths of multiple family members, and to make things more difficult, my Labrador companion of 13 years died last Thursday. With so much to deal with, my nutrition has fallen by the wayside and I have neglected it. I've gained back 12 pounds, but hopefully will come out of my grieving period and get back on track. 2024 has been the most difficult year of my life, but will keep working on my 7 pillars in order to see the results that you emphasize will happen over time with their application. Keep giving good advice. I am sorry to hear about your struggles, Mike. And yeah, the results will come if you apply those 7 pillars and if you make incremental progress on those 7 pillars. So it's not about making excuses as to quote unquote complete your 7 pillars. You're not excusing the poor nutrition. You're not excusing skipping workouts. You're not excusing not practicing your mindfulness, but you just need to make incremental improvements on those 7 pillars on a regular basis. And guess what? You will make improvements overall. Now, everyone's goals are going to be different and everyone's 7 pillars might look a little bit different, or different ones need to be focused on at different times. You're going to have certain pillars that are going to be more automatic. Maybe your meditation, your mindfulness practice is just on point every morning or every lunch period, or whatever it is. You're doing your brain gains, boom, boom, boom. And that's just built in. That's a habit. You don't miss it. It's like brushing your teeth and you're on fire. You might have more of a struggle with nutrition or your recovery or your sleep. So different ones are going to need different areas of attention, but don't think that it's going to be this complete monopoly on your brain space for every single one. Once you forge those habits, you just have to repeat, copy, paste, repeat, and then do a little bit better. But there's going to be different periods where different pillars are going to be a little bit more pertinent, or you're going to have to focus a little bit more on one of those pillars versus another, just because it might be something that's just currently more pending in your life, something that's going on. You're going to need to focus on certain pillars at certain times. But building those habits, those rock solid foundations, should lead to maintaining, right? Like your nutrition, things can happen. There's tragedies, but again, those tragedies don't need to lead to you eating crap. They just don't. They just don't. Things are going to happen in your life. It doesn't mean that you just stuff your fucking face. And I'm not saying that you haven't dealt with tragedy. I'm just saying there are certain things that just don't compute for me. That doesn't excuse trashing yourself. Someone closest to you passes away, it's like, don't destroy yourself over it. And this is where mindfulness and understanding and the circle of life and things happen. And it's all about how we react to it and how we push through. So you make it harder for yourself if you beat yourself up. It doesn't improve anything. So the more you fortify those habits and don't associate those types of things with a coping mechanism, that's going to be something that obviously some people are more susceptible to than others, but definitely want to make sure that you are fortifying those habits. So it's just the standard. You are going to take the best care of yourself, and then the mental struggle, because that's really what it's about. It's going to be upstairs, and that's what's controlling your reactions, and that's what's controlling your habits. So thank you for sharing, and we're here for you, and appreciate you that you're still focusing, and we wish you the best. We got you. Let's get into a couple questions. If you got questions, drop it live. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. Matt in the Telegram chat is being a huge chode and asks, will there be a fasting tracker on the app? Absolutely. Absolutely. We're going to have a fasting tracker. Isn't that great? Isn't that great? We're going to have a fasting tracker for you. For you. It's a special app. And when you download it, it just absolutely is going to crash your phone. Here's your fasting app. Phone fasting. Click this button, but nothing happens when I click it. Yeah, exactly. Faster. Track your fasting. Track your fasting. All right, Seth Berg Music. Please answer in the chat. How do I build muscles in the best possible way? I'm not sure what please answer in the chat means. This is an Instagram submission question, Instagram story, so I don't know how I answer it in the chat. I don't know what chat you're referring to. How do I build muscles in the best possible way? Progressive overload, eat quality food, sleep well, copy, paste, repeat. Make sure you're training intensely and increasing your weight and reps over time. That's how you build muscles in the best possible way. What a lazy, vague question. Stop playing so much music. Go to the fucking gym. Put in the work. All right, Steph, GZ. Hey, look. Oh, Papa Swole, some people are just asking an honest question. Well, that's an honest answer. But, just because you asked the question doesn't mean it's not a silly, ridiculous question. Steph, Papa Swolio, I'm struggling to find good info online about dairy causing more mucus. Do you have any insight on this? I want to keep consuming raw dairy, but I don't know if it's agreeing with me. Test it. I have no problem with raw kefir. I feel great. So only you're going to be able to tell that. The type of dairy also matters. What type of cow it comes from. Is it A2 dairy? Is it A1 dairy? You're going to notice differences based on the quality of the cows, where it comes from. There's different types of cows. So Jersey cows are, I believe, A2 casing. So you're going to find maybe more digestibility. You could also try raw goat dairy. There's different things you can try, but I recommend if people have issues with dairy, a lot of times they're not drinking quality. They're not getting access to quality dairy. And you could start with kefir because that's a much more digestible form, small amounts of kefir. And of course, if you currently have issues, if you have leaky gut and you have current problems, pounding dairy isn't necessarily going to be right for you. So if you're already having acid reflux, you have a lot of problems, just pivoting to raw dairy and having a lot of that, you need to solve the problems first. A lot of times you have to heal your gut and do these other things and maybe remove it for a bit and then add it in once you kind of heal your gut, heal your intestines and all those types of things. So some of these things might be good for you and beneficial for you and okay for you to consume, but you have to reverse and undo and heal your situation currently before you implement that back in. Let's see. Dennis on the Telegram chat. On the app, are we going to have a favorite button next to... I don't want to give away too many things. I kind of want to... Let me see if I can answer this. On the app, are we going to have a favorite button next to sessions, programs, recipes, etc., where it creates a list for quick access? Yes. I don't want to give away too many things. I kind of want to blast you guys holy shit, this is awesome. But I guess I could tell you because that's a pretty awesome feature. So you will have the... It's so cool. It's so cool. All right, I'll talk it up more. You are going to have the ability to add to favorites. You're going to be able to create your own custom playlists. You're going to add to watch later. You're going to have a history, so you can see the recently played content. You're going to be able to add it. So you can favorite different audio and different, you can favorite offline downloads too. So you can create your own playlists and things like that. So yes, you'll be able to add the stuff, your favorite stuff, to a favorites list and custom playlists too. So you're able to create your own playlist of whatever the heck you want. So if you want to do a couple Swollen 7s together, you could have a Swollen 7 playlist, or you could create your own wake up playlist, for example. Oh, I like these 3 mobility ones for the morning. So you say morning Swollen 7, call it whatever you want. Like you would normally do on a YouTube playlist. You can create your own playlist titles and stuff. It's fucking cool. Did everyone just get chubbed up? That's just the tip of it. It's even better than that. So it's even better than that. That's just oh, that's easy. That's simple. Yeah, that's good. Carson, I would like it if we could schedule our gym times and have an alarm that goes off repeatedly saying go to the fucking gym until it registers your heart rate about 130. Well, it's not going to integrate with your watch or something like that. It's not like an Apple Watch type thing. But not to give too much, you're going to be able to schedule your workouts and stuff too. You're going to be able to add it to your calendar and stuff. Little hints there too. You guys are going to forget too. You're going to think of it. It's even cooler than that though. I'm just keep on answering things like, yeah, but it's better than that. It's still better than that. So stay tuned, everyone. Make sure you go to makeemailswoleagain.com, get on the email list. If you're a member, you'll find out. If you're listening to the show, you'll find out here first when it's live. I'm not going to be blasting it on all the social media apps. I'm going to be, there may be a few of you that are invited to beta test it by invitation only, and then it'll be promoted to the Swole fam and then slowly rolled out. Certainty says if I had something to chub up, it would be chubbed. Respect. All right, let's get into a couple more questions. Jeremy, Papa Swole, I heard carnivore MD Paul Saladino say to eat a gram of beef per pound of desired body weight. Truth to this? How much beef do you consume daily? What else do you fill your diet with? Thank you. A gram of beef per pound of desired body weight. So you're not talking about you're not talking about like a gram of protein. You're talking about a gram of meat. So there's 454 grams in a pound, right? So if you want to be, so what would that be? If your body weight, if you want to be 200 pounds, well, you don't want to be fat. So you want to be 200 pounds of muscle or 200 pounds like healthy. That would be 200 grams. That'd be half a pound of meat. I've never thought about it in that way. I don't know if that's accurate across the board. What I will say is protein is very important for satiety. It's very important for muscle building and recovery. It's very important for body functions. I would say how much protein people need can vary. I've gone through periods where I've thought, people don't need as much as they think they do, but I think it's better to focus on getting as much protein in as possible because it's hard to get in a lot of protein. So if you're thinking of getting in, let's say you're trying to get in a gram per pound of body weight. Let's say you're 180 or you're a dude, let's just say 200 pounds. That's a lot of protein in a day. Even if you're just eating steak, even if you have a protein shake for like 30, 40 grams, that's a lot of protein. That's a lot of protein to consume during the day. So is there truth to this? If you want to be 200 pounds body weight or 180 grams of meat is not a lot. That's like 6 ounces of beef, isn't it? So half a pound would be 200. What's 454? 225 grams. That's like half a pound. It's 8 ounces of beef. It doesn't sound like a lot. I mean, I eat more than 8 ounces of beef in a day. If you're doing grams, if you're talking about grams of protein, you're talking about grams of beef. That's a whole different thing because beef is made up of more than just protein. So what else do I fill my diet with? Grass-fed and finished whey concentrate. I like the ones from, I think it's Nature Force. I love that protein powder. It's on Amazon. It's unflavored. There's no soy or corn or soy lecithin or sunflower lecithin in it. Mixes well. No bad taste. I like it, so I consume it. It's also great for emergencies. If you like to have backup food, people like to have dried food. If there's power outages, what better than having a protein powder? That's a great way to supplement protein. But I have that when I first wake up or after a workout, but I'm eating meat. I'll have eggs or raw dairy, so I get plenty of protein. Okay, let's see. Talia, Kane, Papa, it's been too long since I've watched you. I agree.
Hi, puppy.
YouTube keeping your vids from coming up on my feed. Damn commies. I'll be sure to go out my way to watch you. Hope you're well. Thank you. I appreciate you. And make sure you keep an eye out for the app that we're launching soon. And if you want to get notified, you could follow on Rumble. If you're watching on YouTube, I just want to say we're like temporarily, I'm promoting on YouTube or streaming on YouTube, but we get flagged. Every video gets flagged for music, for different sounds and all sorts of stuff. So if you don't see the show, it's because we're on Rumble. So by default, we're always going to be on Rumble. And I just keep on saying, make sure you follow over there, because if you're not seeing it on YouTube, you have to come find it. But you will get notified if you're on Rumble too. Stoked to have you back here. De la Junior, Papa Swolio. Hey, good morning. Wanted to hear your thoughts on products like AG1. I've been looking into them and wanted to see if you had any opinion on it. I don't take any of those green powders and stuff. I think they're bullshit. I'm not against supplementing. I'm not against vitamins and minerals, but I just don't take any of those green powders. I'll eat beef liver. I I'm a big fan of organ meats and getting it in the most bioavailable form. So I'm not saying that you are going to have problems if you consume it, unless you have an allergy to something in it. But if you think that taking a powder with like 100 ingredients and like a speck of bilberry or something, like it's worthless. It's almost worthless in terms of the quantities. So yeah, I'm not saying that you can't have some benefits. I'm not saying that it would cause you problems. But I can't guarantee that you won't be just, pissing that shit down the drain. A lot of products, as long as they're from whole food sources, you may or may not see some benefits. You may have some energy because you're consuming some carbohydrates. Or I don't even really know, to be honest. I don't know what's in it. I just know it's one of those like greens powders. And I've taken those things before and I've found no benefit as long as I'm eating liver and getting quality sleep and eating a lot of proteins and fats and nutrient dense food. If you're eating foods that are lower quality because of price or affordability, some of those things can be beneficial. Like I supplement with magnesium. I feel better with supplementing for magnesium. I would make sure that you're getting a quality electrolyte supplement in first, getting quality sleep. All those things are very important. AG1 is not going to get you results when nothing else. AG1 is not going to get you results if your nutrition's not in order, if your sleep's not in order. It's not like, hey, I'm taking this now and I'm sleeping wonderfully. It doesn't replace focusing on getting it from nutrient dense food. So I would recommend starting with I would recommend eating like beef liver before you start taking stuff like that. But I'm not saying you might not, even if it's a placebo effect, see a benefit. And I'm also not saying that you're going to take it and have a problem. But you could have an allergic reaction. You could have issues. You could try it and see how you like it. I just don't personally take it. So that's my initial thoughts. I don't take it. I don't have experience. I'm not like saying that that product in particular is bad and I've tried it. Here's my experience. I do not take it. I'm not appraised on all the details or what their marketing pitch is. But a lot of people opt for these things because it seems simple. Of course, that's the marketing aspect. Hey, you don't have to eat all this amazing food. You don't have to focus as much on nutrition. Just take this powder and you'll know you get all your nutrients in. Your body doesn't absorb things like that. It's just not the information that your body is getting from real whole foods. So it's just not necessarily what people think it is or think it's doing. And the problem that I perceive from those types of products is when people do that, they just naturally pay less attention to their nutrition. They just generally do. Because they're taking a vitamin, because they're taking that, they don't pay as much attention to all the details of their foundational nutrition because they're taking a supplement. They're getting all that stuff in there, so they're not as worried about it. So as long as you're not ignoring doing the best that you can with whole foods, it may or may not give you benefits. You may or may not like it, but don't use anything like that as an excuse to not get all your protein in, fats, carbs, vitamins, and minerals from food sources. So I don't take it. There's my personal opinion. I know it exists, but I don't have it, and I feel great. So that's just my personal take. But I'm not knocking it in particular because I've tried it and I hate it. It's just I've had stuff like that before. Nick Papasolio, I haven't done barbell overhead presses in a while. I noticed that when I press a heavier weight, my back starts to bend back. I'm guessing my overall core stability is weak, or is a slight bend okay? It's a good question. I haven't done barbell overhead presses in a long time either. I actually don't do them. I never do them. I'm not saying overhead pressing is bad, but I would prefer to do overhead pressing with dumbbells because your arms don't have to be all the way out to the side like that. I would just do a high incline. You definitely don't have to be vertically standing up. It doesn't work like that unless you have a bar. You could do it with a trap bar and you're going all around you. But if you're going like this, you have to. Otherwise, you're going to hit yourself in the chin. You have to lean back. So you're getting tons of anterior deltoid if you're just doing a high incline. For example, if you want to hit upper chest and you're doing an incline on a bench, you need like 30 degrees. That's like the most you want to do for an incline. Anything more than that, you're just hitting a ton of deltoid. So all you need is a high incline. You don't need to be vertically straight up. If you want to work, if you're trying to hit, like, why are you trying to do overhead presses? Are you trying to work on your anterior deltoid, right? Okay. So overhead presses are fine. You're going to get a lot of anterior deltoid just doing incline work for chest. But if you need to target overhead presses, it's better to have your arms a little bit more, you don't have to have your arms completely out to the side. You can be more on an incline, like a high incline, and then you'll be targeting your deltoids wonderfully. Overhead presses will also work your middle deltoid too. But a lot of people have excessive overdevelopment with the anterior deltoid and not enough with the middle and the posterior. So just keep that in mind. But you have to arch your back, otherwise you hit yourself in the face. So do a high incline. Dennis in the Telegram, Pop, I heard drinking baking soda every once in a while can be good for you. Any thoughts? I don't. Isn't baking soda something like a natural for heartburn or acid reflux? Isn't that like a natural thing or something that people use for acid reflux? Baking soda is not bad in terms of we use it to clean all the time. If your dog or something, you know, pees in the house or there's something like a stain, we use baking soda all the time. We use baking soda to clean pans. We use baking soda to wash clothes. Baking soda and white vinegar. That's our go-to for most things. Put a little baking soda, vinegar, foams up, cleans everything, smells. We use white vinegar for so much. You guys want to keep mildew out of your shower? Just take a spray bottle. We have a glass spray bottle with white vinegar. And after the shower, you know those like post-shower sprays? Just use white vinegar. You don't have to spend all that money on that chemical trash. Just spray around and you won't have any mildew. White vinegar is great. I use it in the gym all the time. It's fantastic. I love the clean smell of vinegar. People have this weird negative association with vinegar, but once you actually clean with it in your body, it's it's an amazing thing to use. Yeah, white vinegar, no smell. It leaves no smell. It smells clean. It's so clean. It's great. All the time. Terry, about the app, will it add taint length though? Well, that's obviously it will. That's one of the easiest updates that we have. I mean, forget the scheduling and the tracking and the offline downloads. I mean, people are going to come to the app for the taint length in itself. So it's very important. Yenta vegan, is it irresponsible to go to the gym if positive for COVID? Probably. I mean, everyone's got COVID, don't they? It's like any kind of, you have so many viruses in you. It's like if you're healthy, you're not going to have issues. But I would say so. It also, I mean, depends on how you're testing for COVID. Like if you're doing those like bullshit PCR tests, I mean, everyone's positive. It cycles up enough that, you know, a speck is going to be like, oh my God, you're positive. It's like, it's not going to be testing whether it's necessarily active or not. So yeah, I mean, don't go to the gym when you're sick, so you're not spreading it to people. I'm sure if you're logically and you're consciously going to the gym, like you're sick, especially with something like that, it probably does actually. It's probably like negligence. There might be something criminal about it. So yeah, don't go to public places and spread disease. Do you go live every day? We do the live stream during the week. Yeah. Monday through Friday on Rumble and YouTube and stuff. You have episodes every day if you listen to the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcast. William says, I think that you are a very consistent person. I think you've been doing this for a very long time. You think correct. This is episode 3008. So very good. Your eyes have not failed you. Cerny, Papa Swolio. Good question so far. When lifting free weights with a barbell, does the weight of the bar count as the amount of weight I'm lifting? The bar, yes. I hope this isn't a stupid question. It is a little bit stupid, but I understand what you mean. Now, how you write it down. So I will clarify. Yes and no. It's dumb, but it's also not dumb. So yes, of course it counts as the weight you're lifting. So what I will do is, let's say on my Smith, like how I track these things on my Smith machine, like it depends. So on the Smith machine, I have like the Smith machine that I have, there's a counterbalanced bar. So the bar doesn't weigh 45. It has like a counterbalance. So it probably weighs about 20 or 25. But if I'm doing bench, I'll write it in my logbook. I know in my head that it's a little bit less, but I'll write it in my logbook as if it's a 45-pound bar. Because I know if there's 2 plates, it's 225, 3 plates is 315. So I'll put 295, even if it's 270, just because I know, okay, I know in my head, just that math, that barbell math, if I put, I could put 90 on each side, but for me in my head, I know 225, what it looks like. So I just write it but if I'm doing, for example, let's see if I'm doing JM press and I have, let's say 45 and a 25, I'll just put 70 on each side just so I know I'm putting X. So, I mean, I'll track things differently. So how you track it might depend, but if you know how much the bar weighs, you can just write how much you put on each side or write the total weight. As long as you're tracking it accurately, it's fine. But I mean, objectively, if you're lifting the weight and it has the bar, like that counts towards what you are physically moving for sure. And of course, depending on the machine or the pulley, the perceived weight and how much stress you have on your body isn't necessarily directly that. Depends on the arc of the movement. So like, let's say you're doing a machine and you load up plates and the plates are kind of moving more horizontally during a certain period, that weight, if I put 90 pounds on each side for a certain pressing machine with the plates, I'm not necessarily actually pressing 90 pounds if the weight's not moving directly up and down. You know what I mean? It's all biomechanics. So the perceived or the felt weight might be 60 pounds, but there's 90 pounds on each side because you're pushing horizontal and then the machine curves up. So that's what we call a strength profile. And certain machines can be better because certain muscles, I don't want to go too far down that, but so how much weight is on the bar and how much it feels like that can be different, but as long as you track properly. Terry, Papa, starting a new program based off of the Blood and Guts video by Dorian Yates. Have you seen this video? Would you recommend 5x5 or 3 times 8+ to failure? I've seen his videos. I mean, I would never, that's too much volume. That's too much volume for me. I do more of like an upper lower split. So in a given workout, I won't do more than 3. I really generally won't go more than 3 sets for a body part. Total, not per exercise. So 5x5, let's say for chest, 5 sets of 5 reps, that's like double what I would normally do. Normally I would do 2 or 3 sets in a given session because I'm doing it more frequently. It just depends on how often you're training the muscles and how close to failure you're going and what type of exercise. Are you training in the more lengthened position? Are you going very close, including failure? How frequently are you training? That all matters. So if you're able to do X amount of weight, if you're seeing an increase in weight and reps for a given weight, if you're seeing rep strength or just absolute strength improving, then you're obviously creating a proper growth stimulus. But this is not necessarily right away. So if you choose a new exercise, or you're relatively new to lifting, if you do a new exercise, your strength is going to increase more rapidly over the first couple of weeks of that exercise because of neural adaptations. You're not just instantly building muscle when you start a new exercise. That's why you're going to be a little bit more sore, new movement, new angle. You're going to be incurring a little bit more fatigue. And then after the first few weeks, you stop feeling as sore. People change shit up. No, stay consistent. That's when you're actually getting to that hypertrophy phase. You're getting past those initial neural adaptations and fatigue from a new exercise, from a novel stimulus, and now you're actually adapting. You're able to build muscle. So strength gains doesn't right away immediately mean that you're building muscle. So a lot of people change things too often because they stop feeling as sore. So we always come back to this because it's important. What's your goal? If your goal is to be as sore as possible, then you'll just keep on lifting until you're crippled. Well, that's not my goal. I don't want to be as sore. My goal, like, what's your goal? And this is what pillar number 3 is. The training needs to match the result. Like, what are you trying to achieve? That's what proper training is. We're not talking about exercise. We're not just going to the gym trying to create damage. We're going to the gym to build muscle. So what should your training be? Your training should be revolved around building muscle. How do you build muscle? You have to get stronger. You have to increase the reps or increase the weight. One or the other over time. You need to progressively overload. You need to do X amount of reps with X amount of weight. And the next time you do 1 or 2 more. You need to do more or the same or more weight with the same amount of reps. You need to increase over time. You're not necessarily going to be able to every single session, but that's the goal. You're scratching and clawing for extra reps. And you'll see more rapid changes when you first create a new novel stimulus or you expose yourself to a new novel stimulus. You'll see those changes happen a little bit quicker at first, but then after a while, it peters off. You're not as sore. You don't see the changes as rapidly, but your body will actually start building muscle. So it's that growth stimulus. So As a result of that, if your goal is to build muscle, then that's what matters. Then it doesn't matter if you're sore. Okay? It doesn't matter if you're sore. It doesn't matter how much volume you do. Okay? If you're seeing improvements, don't add volume. And that's the hardest thing to do. Is if I'm seeing progress with doing 2 sets for chest and then doing 2 sets again, if I'm seeing progress, I am tempted to add more reps. I'm tempted to add more sets. But that's just more fatigue. So it's very easy to get tempted to add more, but more isn't the goal. Soreness isn't the goal. Being sore is not required to build muscle. You might feel it the next day. You might be a little fatigued or a little bit tight, but being crippled sore, like, oh my God, that doesn't mean that you did the right stuff. You probably did too much volume. You pushed too close to failure. You did a novel stimulus, or you did too much volume. It's going to take you longer. You're creating more fatigue, and it's going to take you longer to repair before you can provide the proper growth stimulus again. And if you're not giving yourself enough time overall, you're going to have more fatigue with your central nervous system. It's going to start negatively affecting all your lifts and building muscle as a system. So the tendency is to do more. But if you think, I want to build muscle, cool. Then what do you need to do to build muscle? I want this weight. I want this number. I want to be doing 250 and then 255 and then 260 and then 265 and 270. I want those reps to go from 4 to maybe 5 or 6 or 7. And then I add a little bit more weight and it goes back down to 4 and 5. And then I'm trying to get 6 and 7. Then I add a little bit more weight and it goes back down to 4 and 5. Okay. So depending on the frequency, how much volume you do, can you do 4 working sets for chest in a workout? Sure. Can you do 5 working sets for chest in a workout? Sure. But every single set after that first 1, 2, or 3 becomes less stimulating. So in my opinion, why do 6 sets for chest on one day and wait 7 days when the last 4 sets are not going to be as stimulating as the first 2? Why not just break it up into 3 and 3 and get 3 solid stimulating sets on Monday and then 3 more on Thursday or Friday? You're training it more frequently and you're getting more out of the first 3 sets because you're doing it twice, right? When you're fresh on 2 days, rather than doing 6 and towards like set 5 and 6, you're just not getting the same response. It peters off. You're just kind of beating a dead horse. That first set or 2 is really everything. So do the first set or 2 more often. Does that make sense? It's like, you're fresh on Monday and let's say you're fresh on Monday and you're fresh on Thursday or Friday. So if you're doing 4 sets on Monday, set 3 and 4 is not as stimulating as set 1 or 2. You're getting less out of sets 3 or 4. So just do 1 and 2 on Monday and then 1 and 2 on Thursday and Friday again, both at 100%, feeling great. And you're getting more out of the 4 sets overall. You're getting amazing stimulating sets on Monday and amazing stimulating sets on Thursday or Friday. You're going to feel more sore doing 4 sets, but again, the goal is not soreness. But Pop, I don't feel sore. Is your goal to be sore? My goal is not to be crippled. My goal is to build muscle and get stronger. So if that's your goal, you need to focus your training on that result. So yesterday I did legs. A little bit more fatigued, or I felt fatigued. And it was just one of those days where, I have different types of workouts. So yesterday was lower body. It had to get done, but it wasn't a day where I wanted to. It just didn't feel right. I didn't want to load tons of weight. I didn't want to do Smith machine squats and load tons of weight on my neck or hack squats. It wasn't that day. So I did adductors, leg extensions, and seated leg curls in that order. 2, 2, and 2. It was a great fucking workout. I feel it today. Awesome stimulus. All the weights went up. Adductor strength went up. Leg extension went up. PRs all around. So if I didn't track and record, I wouldn't know that I hit 3 PRs on a day where I felt a little bit, okay, I'm not going as quote unquote hard. I'm not doing heavy compound movements. But all the strength went up. What does that mean? That means I'm able to progressively overload. That means I am creating the growth stimulus and I'm recovering properly. That means my pacing, my programming, my tempo, everything is going to plan. Amazingly so. So that allows me to feel successful and objectively see the success, even though I didn't feel like I did a lot. I might not have felt like it was a great workout. Like I feel it, but now I know that was a great workout. That was huge. 3 PRs, that's fantastic. I don't need to worry about anything else. I did it. I achieved it. Everything's going well. You might feel great or kind of, or I'm in between. But But objectively, if you see your numbers going up and you're improving over time consistently, your programming is good. You should be making consistent progress. You should be making consistent progress. Maybe not every single week you see the numbers go up. Sometimes on a given machine or a given thing, like you're only gonna be able to get so strong on different machines. No matter how hard you train, no matter how hard, some machines are just gonna be like, I just can't get above this weight. Okay, so then change it up. Do a different machine for a little bit or do a different exercise and improve on that. And then maybe sometimes you hit the muscle in a different way and then it gives you a little psychological break from that other machine. You go back, it's a novel stimulus and you kind of break through that plateau. You know, it's not like I do the T-bar rows and right now I'm stuck at, I wouldn't say I'm stuck, but I'm at 5 plates and a 25 on a T-bar row, on the chest supported T-bar row. That's a lot of fucking weight. I'm getting 5 or 6 reps. I'm not saying I'm gonna be able to do 6 plates and then 7 and then 8. It's like, I'm not taking anabolic steroids. I'm like, there's going to be a limit of where I just kind of hit that like, and then I might stick at that and try to push through it for a couple of weeks. Then maybe I'll change out the exercise and swap something out for a little bit and then come back to it. So you're going to do those things, but you want to see progress relatively consistently. Let's see. We'll take some more questions. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. We're on a roll, so keep it coming. Talia, I know you're a big advocate for weightlifting. Do you enjoy cardio? Do I enjoy it? I don't know if anyone enjoys it. If so, what's your preference? I've been getting into some running, sprinting alongside my weights. That's fine. Sprinting is great. Yeah, higher intensity interval, getting to that zone 2 is great. You could do sled work. You could do kettlebell swings. You could do Versa climber. You could do walking on incline or hill sprints, something like that. That's fine. Sauna is great for cardio mimicking benefits, long walks. So like longer duration. And then for the higher zone, you could do interval stuff. Yeah, weightlifting is by far the most important thing. Build muscle and then you'll get cardiovascular benefits from lifting too, but then you could also add that stuff in. What I always say is if your goal is building muscle, you want to make sure that you're doing the training that's going to build muscle. And then add in your cardio that's going to help facilitate that and facilitate your overall health and your performance as long as it doesn't take away from your progress from lifting. You'll know that if you're doing tons of cardio and you're exhausted and your training is like floundering, yeah, it's because it depends on what your goal is, right? You're doing too much cardio if that's the case, or you're not programming it properly. Adam, if I ran 20 minutes at 4 p.m. at the top of the hour for 10 hours a day, if I ran 20 minutes at 4 p.m. at the top of the hour for 10 hours a day, could I lose extreme weight before the beach on Saturday? 4 miles an hour. I was like, that's retarded. If I ran 20 minutes at 4 miles an hour, is that even running? That sounds like walking. That's like at the top of the hour for 10 hours. Can I lose extreme weight before the beach on Saturday? You're just gonna be dehydrated and maybe injure yourself and get like heat stroke or something. That's stupid as shit. Extreme weight before the beach on Saturday. Are you trolling? Like in 2 days, can you lose 20 pounds or yeah, you're probably going to be in the hospital. You're not going to look lean or shredded. You're just going to be skinny fat. That's dumb. Do not do that and then go out in the sun. I'm just going to, for the record, publicly, I'm going to say that's a very stupid idea. And I think you're trolling. Okay, Sheena, Papa Swolio, is the systemic fatigue the reason that I sometimes can't lift the same weight I did the week before and I have to drop it down? It sure can be. You should not have to, if you're doing maximum swole, if your goal is to, progressively overload, you shouldn't have to drop down your weight. So that's very likely improper programming or poor growth stimulus, not training enough towards failure, nutrition, sleep. So yeah, you should be at least hitting the same, right? Because think about it. If you did one time, the next time you should be at least the same. I'm not saying it's going to be going up all the time, right? Sometimes I'll do a weight and it's like 85 pounds on a machine on each side. And I'll get 5 reps. Next time I get 5 reps, but I felt better. It's like, that's progress. I know. Cause like to get that complete extra rep, that's a lot of extra strength. It's not just like, oh, I got 5 and then I got 6. That's a 20% increase in strength. So the first time if I'm doing it, I might go to failure. Or to 0 RIR and I barely get that 5th rep. But then the next time or the next week or two I do it, I get the 5th rep and I'm like, I get it. It's much more, I couldn't get another one, but it's much more solid. So I know I'm getting stronger, just not enough to complete a full extra rep. But yeah, you should be getting the same. You should be hitting the same numbers at least, which means you're programming. The tendency is to do more and to fatigue yourself. You don't need as much. If you're truly training hard, up to and including failure, you don't need much volume. You can't. It'll take you out a lot. Adam, how is it lame to ask a legit question? That's not a legit question. You're asking if you ran 20 minutes at 4 miles an hour, 10 hours a fucking day, dude. If you run 20 minutes every hour for 10 fucking hours, could you lose extreme weight before the beach on Saturday? It's Wednesday, dude. That's a retarded question. I'm just being honest. It's not a legit question. Just because it's a question doesn't mean it's legitimate. It's ridiculous. You're going to try to lose weight in 2 days? I make fun of people for like, I'm trying to get shredded for the summer. 2 days, dude? Are you like, if it's a wrestling competition, that's extremely unhealthy, right? You're doing cardio in a plastic bag to make weight. You're going to look like shit on the beach. You're going to lose some water weight and you're going to be dehydrated to be out in the sun in the middle of summer in August. It's reckless for me to not call that retarded. Some of us have it in us to go hardcore and don't need to take baby steps like you. Oh, you are trolling. Yeah, that's retarded. Lame to you because you couldn't do it. All right. Well, if you're going to be here and ask a real question or you're just going to troll, fine, do that. You're going to be in the hospital. You were serious? That's the problem, dude. The problem is that you were seriously asking that. If you ran 20 minutes every hour for 10 fucking hours, so you're going to be there from 12 noon to 10 p.m. at night running, lightly jogging. 4 miles an hour is that's not a run. That's like a fast walk. Is it a fast walk? So 20 minutes every hour, 20 times 10. What is that? 4 hours of cardio to lose weight for the beach in 2 days. You're going to lose all water weight. You're going to be exceptionally dehydrated. And if you're going to the beach and you do that, if this isn't a troll question, you will likely end up in the hospital. Yes, a hypothetical. Yeah, if you don't eat, you'll lose weight too. If you starve yourself. I'm proud of you that you can do it. I don't give a shit. I'm leaving this stupid question. That's just very dumb. Very dumb. I treated it like a legit question at first. Yeah, it's really stupid. Okay, let's go. No, that's not a 4-minute mile. No, it should 4 miles an hour, not a 4-minute mile. God, YouTube is. What in the fuck is going on over there? This is why we don't stream to YouTube. This is why we stopped. Can't have nice things. Poopy Castles, Papa Swolio, what do you suggest for allergies? I'm constantly getting extreme respiratory infections from things like dust, smoke from wildfires, and seasonal pollen. Makes me sick for a week every time. Yeah, I mean, aside from moving to an area that doesn't have a lot of wildfires and dust, like you definitely want to be in a less polluted area. Raw honey, raw local honey can be beneficial. Things like raw dairy and improving your gut biome can help. So raw honey, maybe some other seasonal stuff locally. But raw honey, that's local. Local raw honey has been known to be beneficial for allergies. It's not magic, but it can definitely help. Anyone else has ideas, you can drop it. Okay, let's see. We're going to move along. So actually, we'll do a couple other questions. Yeah. No, I wouldn't have given that question airtime, but it was just a question, and then it turned out to be a troll. Ty Schneider, I just tore/strained my bicep. Any light workouts I can do to help it heal or just rest it? Well, hopefully you know if you actually tore or strained your bicep, because a lot of times people think it's their bicep, could be their chest. Like, where's the tear? How do you know? Did you get an MRI? So that being said, if you do not know exactly what it is, you should get it checked out. Any light workouts, if you're medically cleared, yoga, stretching, lower body stuff, but you need to rest it, but you also need to rehab it and improve your mobility. That way it doesn't happen again. So just like not doing anything, oh, it goes away, and then going back into what you were doing is probably going to lead to another injury. Okay. Toby Robinson Fitness. How heavy of a club would you recommend starting out with someone just learning? As light as possible. If you're using a wood club, something that's like a pound or less, honestly, because the wood is a lot larger. It's better if you're going very light. If you go really light and you get one of those plastic clubs, it's really hard to even practice because they're so light. So there's just nothing to really move. So it can be really awkward to do some to practice. But a wood club that's lighter, they're more expensive, but you'll have more mass and more torque even for a lightweight. So you'll learn the technique even better. But if you're a dude, I mean, anything between like, under 5 pounds, less than 5 pounds, depends on how much strength you have and how much joint integrity you have. Less is more with the club. So I never recommend even men that are well-trained shouldn't be going over 5 pounds. Sheena says, literally just opened my P3S10. I effing love it. Excellent. No, Adam says, I'm just finishing it up. I wasn't even trolling. A person can ask an unusual question. Unusual goals might get unusually fast results. Okay. That's okay. Ooh, good luck. Let's see. Berek van de Klee. I'm struggling with consistency. I'm a divorced dad of 2 boys. Can you give me some tips? Thanks. Set a schedule. Stick to it. Do it for your boys. Get on a quality program. Execute. Do it with your kids. Build out a home gym so they can see you doing it. You have to make it something that you prioritize. You're not going to be consistent with something that you... The problem with a lot of people when it comes to quote unquote consistency is that they act like, oh, I don't have time to go to the gym. It's like, it should be like brushing your teeth. It should be something that you do that's non-negotiable. So people act like they're spending time. Well, there's a difference between spending. You're buying a candy bar, you're spending money and you're hurting yourself. If you invest in the S&P index or you invest in Bitcoin, you're not spending money. You're investing. You're putting money into something that is going to grow, ideally in value over time. This is why people invest in a house or property. You invest. You're not spending money on a house. You don't think of it that way. So when it comes to spending time, well, I don't have the time. What are you talking about? Every workout and everything that you're doing is an investment. So if you do things properly with intent, that's an investment. It's not a waste of time. It's the investment of time to get more time, because that's what you'll do. You'll have more valuable time. You'll have more worthwhile time because you're able to do more things with your kids. You'll be alive longer and more functional with them, and you're leading by example. So you're gaining from doing it. You're gaining in muscle and you're gaining in mental capacity and strength, and you're also gaining in lifespan, ideally, and just wellness, health span. Il Vidal, Popsfully, how many days a week should we work out? Depends on the intensity and the frequency and the goals. Manu is tired. What's your favorite recipe? Steak on a fucking plate. Give me that steak, baby. Mama Swolio's steak is the best. Alonso Armenta, perfect hour to go to sleep when the sun goes down, but based on society and schedules, you want it to be a consistent time. Consistent sleeping and waking time is very important. All right. Any other questions? Anyone else doing fasting or running 3-minute miles 12 times a day? No one? Bueller? All right, let's go, Paul Steve.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! That's deep.
That's right. Look, I offer up. You're able to ask questions here. I'm able to make fun of them. But it's important. It's important for certain questions and certain things to be dragged through the mud because you can't think like that. Enough of these short-term bullshit, nonsensical things. You're not even going to get shredded for the summer if it's in January or February. You might build some muscle, but it's going to be small incremental progress, and then people just let things go to shit. So stop looking for short-term results because they don't exist. They just do not exist. Okay, pick a number 1, 2. Oh, Jesus. How come all these thumbnails look the same? They're different people, but they all look the same. Pick a number 1, 2, 3, or 4. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Let's go with Aaron. Number Juan. How to lose weight. Well, perfect. Perfect. This is for you, Adam. Aaron's picking this. Aaron's picking this for Adam. How to lose weight. So here's your answer. Adam, the one that you wanted. This is your.
I think there's a debate in a lot of feminist and body positive spaces as to how to lose weight in the best way, a way that is body positive and feminist and not harmful. The problem with this debate is that there is no body positive or feminist way to intentionally lose weight. It's all fat phobic and it still doesn't work.
The IQ is not strong with this one. I'll just leave that as it is. The IQ is not strong at all. None of that made sense, and we're going to move right along. Let's go with Sassy Shines number 1. Now we're going to do Sassy Shines pick number 1. That was number 1, but this is the new number 1. This one is now number 1 now. This one is number 1 now. I am woman. Yeah, feminism is just communism. It's just a different layer of Marxism. It's nonsense. Feminism is a cancer on society.
What's in the box?
All right. Let's see. I am a woman. Are you now?
I am a woman, and I use the women's restroom. And I guarantee you, not one of you will stop me. And if you got a problem with it, use a different bathroom. That's all I'm going to say. I am a woman, and I am allowed to use the women's restroom.
Sounds heavily vaccinated.
Einhorn is Finkel. Finkel is Einhorn.
Okay. The problem with the internet is these kinds of things go viral because they're so ridiculous. They're so stupid, but it just encourages more dumb, stupid people to post stuff like that. And they need help. These people need they need a lot of help. They need buildings with rooms with padded walls. They need lots of people with white coats and clipboards, lots of medication, shock therapy, whatever the heck it is. But that's whatever. Creepy. Yeah, maybe. I mean, look, they're all trolling. So, I mean, obviously that video is a troll. That's a huge troll. So Mark says he's trolling just to cause, quote, damage to the trans community. Yeah, whatever. So remember all these videos we have of like people faking it? You know, well, that person's just joking. That's a comedian. That's this. They're all comedians. They're all people trying to get love and attention. It's all the same. It's all the same. So if you act like, oh, this person's trolling, but the other person that thinks they have a vagina isn't troll. It's all a troll. It's all a troll. These are mentally unstable people across the board. Even if you're pretending to be, it's the reason why you can't tell the difference anymore is because it's all the same. It's all a lie. It's all a joke. The fact that we play into some of it as if it's real and other stuff as, oh, that's a troll. It's like, it's all a fucking troll. If you're a man, you don't have a vagina. You never will. You can't just invert your penis and pretend like it's a vagina. You know, people don't have hairy fucking vagina tunnels. Just because you tuck your ball sack inside your body doesn't make it a vagina. Yeah. Okay. Horrific. Let's do preaching to the choir. I know. Let's do another one because it's going to get better, right? It's going to get better. Pick a number, 1 or 2. Pick a number 1 or 2. And let me give you a hint. You're fucked either way. Hashtag Game Train for a chance to win today's Swole card. The greatest man cast in the realm. And of course, we have the Tainty Man here. Let's zoom in. Almost have a little bit of that taint. Cute boy. Big boy. The big tainty boy. To my lord. What else we got here? Who's ready? Tucking ain't easy. You got that right.
There's tiny tuck, typical tuck, total tuck, and the tyrannical tuck.
All right, let's go with Cerny. Let's go with the GOAT. Pregnant people. Oof, pregnant people. Thank you, Cerny.
What's in the box?
Pregnant people.
All you Karens out there who have your panties in a bunch about the fact that doctors are starting to use the term pregnant person instead of pregnant women, I want you to listen up. Women are people. Non-binary people and trans men are also people. So this term includes everyone that was born with a uterus and could be pregnant. It has nothing to do with not being a feminist or protecting women's rights. We want to be inclusive to all people born with a uterus.
We know you're not trying to protect women's rights. What the? You see, they're telling you exactly what they're doing. We're not. This isn't about protect. We know, it's about destroying women's rights. You have men competing against women in sports, even physical sports, and they're trying to take away your unique ability to have a child. Only a woman can have a child. Only a woman. Well, what is a woman? It's an adult human female. If you're a man, you cannot have a child. There's no such thing as a pregnant person. There is women. Only women can get pregnant. That's easy. We're done with it. So I guess this is what, a filter? This is a doctor or someone wearing a doctor's shirt. This is just sinister. If you say stupid shit like this, you should lose your license immediately. I don't know. That's probably in Canada or some stuff like that. This is what evil looks like. She's so encompassing, so compassionate, helping everyone. This person's going to pretend like a man that wants to shove a baby in their asshole so they can pretend to give birth. Oh, it's a pregnant person. Yeah. Not playing that game, fam. Not playing that game, fam. All right. Gross. So let's move right along. Yeah, I agree. If you go to a doctor and anyone or you see anywhere has pregnant person, this and the other, go somewhere else. Go to a medical professional or someone that isn't an idiot. That's not compromised. They're compromised. That's really what it says. That's really what it means. They are letting you know that they're virtue signaling, trying to pretend like, they're letting you know that they're part of the cult. They're part of the team. They're okay. Don't burn down my doctor's office because I'm on your side. I'll say what I need to say. I'll say all the things. 2 + 2 = 5. I'll say it. Pregnant people. Yeah, we accept all pregnancies here. What are you talking about? So if you live on planet Earth, don't give these people your money. I wouldn't trust them. If they can't even be trusted for basic fundamental science, then how can you trust them on anything? That's the thing. You can't trust them on anything. You can't be like, all right, that's ridiculous, but this other stuff is accurate. Oh, they're 100% with these other things. No, they're compromised at their fundamental core. I would not trust a damn thing. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Let's see. Last one, and then we'll do a throwback so we can cleanse. We need a palate cleanse. But this one's called Stop Hating Fat. I shall not, will not. I will not stop hating fat ever. Fat is not something that you need or that you should have covering your entire body to the point that you're more horizontal than you are vertical.
You can stop hating the fat. You can stop hating the fat on your body.
No.
All you have to do is stop hating fat people. We were taught this. This is not a natural thing. Look at art. We have known fat bodies are beautiful throughout all time. It is just very recently we have been taught fat is not beautiful because it serves the interests of racism, ableism, and capitalism.
Whoa.
We were taught to think these things, so we can teach ourselves to think something else.
She's telling you how to brainwash people? You're taught to think things? Yes, we understand what the Department of Education does. Humans are taught to think things? Oh my God, fam. Let's get out the red carpet. Let's get out the streamers. You get the prize. Humans are taught to think things. I love it. I love it. I love it. Brilliant. Brilliant. Brilliant stuff. Aces. Aces.
One way I'm doing it is that I follow a lot of fat creators. And when they come up on my For You page, I give them a heart. And I tell myself, they are beautiful.
Wow. Oh, this is getting better. I got to hear that again. When fat creators When fat creators show up my timeline, I give them a heart and I tell myself they're beautiful. You're just doing the work all yourself. You're doing the work. You're doing it. You're getting it done. And you have to come here and tell us that you're doing it. You can't just keep it to yourself. You have to tell everyone. Tell us all more about how to be a good person. I gaslight myself every time I'm on social media, and you should do the same. Fucking white women. God, the stupidest. Again, this is white liberal women are the worst. They're the worst when it comes to this stupid shit.
I'm doing it is that I follow a lot of fat creators. And when they come up on my For You page, I give them a heart and I tell myself, they are beautiful. This is what beauty looks like. Because first of all, it's true. Flesh is sexy. Bodies are beautiful.
Yeah, wrong. Flesh is sexy. Flesh, are you a cannibal? Are you a cannibal? All right, we're calling her Hannibal from right now. Flesh is sexy? Flesh? Ugh. You need I'm going to say no. I'm going to go with a no. Flesh? Ooh, look at that flesh. That used to be like you're a serial killer. That used to be something disturbing. Flesh. What are you, fucking skin folds? Yeah, look at that thigh meat. I love to flex that knee joint and go to town. Yeah, fuck that Popliteus. You like that shit? All right, that was Kinesia. Okay. Okay.
This is what beauty looks like. Because first of all, it's true. Flesh is sexy. Bodies are beautiful. The diversity of human experience is beautiful.
I don't disagree with that. I mean, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Like human diversity, yeah. There's a lot of different subspecies of humans. We pretend like we're all the same. We're not. Obviously, white people, black people, Asian people, we've all evolved over thousands and thousands of years in separate cultures across the world. That's why people look different, act different, different DNA. It's like we're different people. We are different people. There's a lot of variety with humans. There's nothing wrong with that. It is what it is. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not good or bad. It's not racist. It's just, it is. There's different things. A lot of different birds out there, different butterflies. There's different, I don't know. Every animal has a lot of different types and different shapes and different regions, right? Alligators in Australia are going to look different or have different. It's good. You said one thing, but that doesn't make all the other retarded shit you said okay.
And the only people who don't want us to believe that are the people who want our money and to control us.
So the problem with these videos is that there's like a shred of common sense in there, but they lost the plot elsewhere. All right, just listen to the last part. Ready?
People who don't want us to believe that are the people who want our money and to control us.
Yeah, there are people with there's a lot. Yeah, but you just have it backwards. So with these people, in other words, when there's no personal responsibility, when everyone else is an other and the enemy and it's about feelings. This is why the Democrats and the left have such a stranglehold on society. It's because they've had control of the media institutions, the educational institutions for decades and decades and decades. So there's the problem, but she has it completely inverted. So, when you have people that understand logic and common sense, but aren't playing the victim, you come to a different conclusion. So her conclusion, because the answer and the response from all these libtards is just emotional. Oh, they're mean. It's everyone else. When you actually solve your issues, when we're talking about like obesity, when you're talking about taking care of your health, that takes personal responsibility. But when you don't take personal responsibility, then everything else is flawed. You want everyone else to do it for you. Everyone else is the mean one. Everyone else has to change when it's really you that has to change. So people that are more conservative or people that pay attention and use their brains, have triple digit IQs, will look at this and like the things you're complaining about is completely in your control. Yes, people market things and they want to sell things. It's called capitalism. It's called having a product and having a willing buyer. But there's a lot of people that have a shitty product and have stupid fucking willing buyers. V-Shred is a great example. You have a shitty product and you have stupid fucking people that give him money. Okay, but they're both willing, so it is what it is. If I buy a cheap thing off of Amazon and it breaks, that sucks. But I also bought a cheap thing off of Amazon. What do I expect? I willingly bought a product that was shitty. It's like, you know, if you get scammed, that's a different thing. If you're saying one thing and then delivering something else, and that's the problem with the left, is that they're teaching people to play the victim, but they're skewing where the blame is going when the blame is themselves. And that's why there's such constant fear and anxiety, because they have no control over their life. They're just constantly in a state of fear and in a state of, oh, everyone's coming at me. Everyone's attacking me. All these words. Oh, it's the patriarchy. It's capitalism. It's fat phobia. It's the world around us. We have to change how we think about fat. No, we don't. You just need to go to the fucking gym. But then you'd have nothing to complain about, because her body loyalty, it's the craziest fucking thing that all these people that are body positive or body loyalty don't take care of their bodies. I think I am more body loyal than you are. You know why? Because I take care of it. I am loyal to my body. I eat well, I exercise, I sleep well. The fuck are you body positive about? You're trashing yourself with Twinkies and you're trying to glorify being sick and half dead. Like, who's more loyal? Who's more positive about their body? Who's spreading actual logic and common sense around? Who's telling people to go to the fucking gym? Who's actually going to the gym themselves? Who's actually providing good information for people to actually improve their life? It's stupid. It's a grift. It's a grift, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. What's even more unfortunate is we of course have a lot of swole suds here that prefer, and I enjoy logic and common sense. But unfortunately, these people vote. I mean, I think there should be much higher standards for people that are able to vote in elections and decide for everyone else. When you have people like this that are just mentally corrupt, they don't have the first fucking idea of how things work when it comes to health, when it comes to the economy, when it comes to like international relations. It's all about feelings, all projections of emotion and fear, which is not how you make decisions. And this is why we have a huge problem in our society, because you have a lot of weak people that are making decisions for everyone else. And when you're weak and you have no strength and you have no control, you project that as fear, and fear and anger. It's very dangerous. So when you're weak, anxious, and afraid, you actually start more wars. You start more chaos. You start more conflict. Weakness is going to breed violence, and it has been for decades. And we're seeing it a lot now. That's because everything's weak, and you have weak justice system. You have not weak government. You have way too powerful government, but it's incompetent government, weak leadership. And that's what's on the stake here. If, for example, if Kamala Harris gets elected, if they steal the election again, it is going to get so much worse. There's going to be violence. There's going to be riots everywhere. And if Trump wins, for example, the left will blame, there will be riots. There will be riots if Trump wins, but it's going to be the left. The left are the ones that are going to riot, but they will blame the right. They will burn down the cities and blame the destruction and corruption. Like, cities will burn. New York and Chicago will be fucking on fire. Palestine flags will be everywhere. Oh, Hitler's back. They're going to riot like crazy and then blame it on the right. Look at what you did. It's chaos. But it's going to be sown from the left. It always has. Always has. So anyway, that was a nice little rant. But yeah, just more evidence that weak people that are not meant to lead vote. And unfortunately, most of those weak people are female. And you have to think of this as a female. I'm not saying you shouldn't have the right to vote. You do. That's not being undone. But what you have to understand is that your emotions are being preyed on. And women are much more susceptible to these social media manipulations because women are much more agreeable. They are much more society and like community driven in that sense. And it's easy to prey upon weaker people. So women are exceptionally susceptible. That's why you see the suicide rates in teen girls that have jumped up dramatically. And that's why you see this whole, the trans nonsense. It's much more, girls are much more susceptible to this than men. It's just a poison. and it's just completely infected our society. And these people are just, they've grown up, they grew up before the trans thing was being pushed, because all these women would have been like, saying that they're dudes or coping with other stuff, but they're just older. They grew up a little bit ahead of time, but they were still getting that earlier wave of feminism. So you need to vote with logic and common sense. And unfortunately, this is why you see, if you look at all the stats, you see these, like, women are just more overwhelmingly Democrat or left or progressive for that reason. But this is the beauty of women. This is why women are important. Women create that balance to men. Women create that balance in the home, man, woman. That's an important balance. It's an important yin and yang in many cases. But when you have a society that's trying to feminize men and masculinize women, this is why we're seeing the decay. This is why we're seeing the corruption. It's because that's just not inherent to what men and women are and how men and women react. So if you want to break out of that marketing, oh, people are selling me something, like she's complaining, like the people that are marketing and promoting this, just because you've been duped. I mean, who buys all these fat loss pills? Who buys all these fat loss pills? Women. I'm not saying men don't buy any of these things. All the new diets, new trends. Oh, Beyonce has a new diet. Dudes aren't buying that. It's fucking women. They're buying everything off emotion. They're buying what's socially acceptable, saying yes, going along with things because they don't want to be the outcast. You're not going to see, unless they're more just tougher, more, because everyone has different masculine traits and feminine traits. I'm not saying you can't have feminine traits as a man. That's, of course, it exists. You're supposed to. But if there's more masculine women or less agreeable women, they're the ones that are online saying like, fuck this shit, this is stupid, just because overwhelmingly women are going to go along with the trends. And that's the problem. That's the problem, is this whole entire trend over decades and decades of women are the same as men, women, girl boss, this, that, and the other. You've been manipulated. You've been sold and sold out and lied to over and over again. You've been lied to about having kids, about how it ruins your life, ruins your existence, about how if you don't have a career, who's going to want you. You've just been suckered. And I don't blame all these women for being pissed off, but they just don't know what they're pissed off about. That's the problem. They don't know. They're angry, they're frustrated, and they've been lied to. All facts. Women have been fucked over and over and over and over by other women, by these Marxists, by communists. So they've been lied to for decades and decades, just been lied to over and over again. Now they're pissed off. They're angry. They don't have any purpose. They're in their 30s and 40s. They're an executive. They can't have kids anymore. No men wants them because they're just not the same type of value. Men value youth and the future of what they can bring to a family. So as a woman's value decreases as she gets older, it's just a fact. I'm saying value in terms of, and I'm not saying society value, because as you get older, as a female, if you have a family, you're very valuable. The grandma, like, you're very valuable. But independent from that, that's why women are pissed. And I don't blame you. But here's the problem. Women are angry. They're anxious. They're fearful, but they're confused. They don't know why. So what do? They follow where everyone's pointing. It's Trump. It's the extremist MAGA Republicans. It's the evil fascists. Trump is literally Hitler. It's, go get him, sick him. And they're trying to kill. They're trying to make me have babies like The Handmaid's Tale. They're forcing me to have. No one's forcing you to. Who's forcing you to have kids? There's birth control everywhere. You could also just not get fucked. No one's going to fuck you anyway. Like, no one's trying to fuck you. All these crazy people on the side of the road, my body, my choice. Yeah, and my body, my choice. I ain't putting my penis in that. No one's fucking you. They're angry that they're not getting fucked, and they don't realize it. They're angry because they're cave trolls, and they're frustrated that they've been lied to, and now they're societal trash. And men are now competing in sports, and women are too damn agreeable. They're standing on the award stage at these like bike races and track field. It's women's fault. It's your fucking fault, ladies. because the ladies are the ones that are going along with it. When you have a swim meet, like the Riley Gaines stuff, or you have a mountain biking and you see like a man on the first place and all the women are on second and third, they're like, yeah, posing for a picture. If a dude shows up, everyone just says, fuck this, I'm out. And it would stop. No, I'm not competing in this. But they go along with it because women are more agreeable. So this is pervasive. If women actually didn't go along with it and be like, oh yeah, I'm a terrible person, you can do this, oh, yeah, I'm on your side, don't hurt me. That's because you don't have strong men. And if you are a woman and you're with a strong man and you're part of a family, guess what? You don't have to do the fighting or the arguing. Your man does it. And you're not going to put up with as much. So if, like, there's a difference. If you're an independent woman, right, girl boss, and someone's using your bathroom, you're going to be like, oh, everyone has a right, society, and, we should protect all people and all sizes and all body types. And okay. But if that person's with a man, that man's like, absolutely the fuck not. That is not happening with my family. My woman is not going to be going into a bathroom with a dude that's going to try to sexually get the fuck out of here. That would stop. That's why they try to break apart the family, because you can't have that kind of masculinity if you want to control people. You can't have that type of tight-knit community that eliminates the need for the government boot. So that's what we're seeing. You break apart the family, you break apart everything that's humanity. And that's why you're seeing problems. So you have a lot of, it's like free radicals. You guys know what a free radical is? General ideas like, molecular reactions. And there's like, loose particles or, compounds that float around that either donate protons or electrons, or I forget exactly, but it's like, they react differently and they can cause a chain reaction of problems in the body. Just general, idea to think about it. That's what these women are. They're just bouncing around. They have no purpose. They have no family. They have no options. They've ruined, they've been lied to. So they're told how to, they're just like all Manchurian candidates. They're just being told where to voice, all that anger and frustration. It's on the guys with the red hats. It's on this guy, Donald Trump. He's the bad person. Anyone that disagrees with you, that's an other. These people that, want, like, what you have is this argument, this fight from these woke ass liberal women. They're fighting against their own evolution. It's just the more you think about it, the more ridiculous it gets. You have women that are fighting against other people that want them to have children. They want people on the right, or it's really moderate these days. It's like, hey, you should have a family and have a lot of kids and have a strong man around you and feel secure and safe. No wonder you feel anxious and insecure. You don't have any strong man around you. That's why you would feel anxious and afraid, because there's no one around you. There's no one to protect you. Men are protectors. That's why they were naturally stronger than women. We protect the women. Any of you have a wife or a girlfriend, you would protect them. You have kids, you protect them. So if you have a strong family, as a female, you feel protected. You feel more safe. The man has to worry about people coming around the corner. The man has to worry about the dark alley down the street. The man has to worry about, carrying, not that the woman shouldn't carry a firearm, but the man has to worry about protection. Can I take these men? Hey, there's three random guys walking let's just go to the other side of the street to avoid confrontation. Guys are thinking about that all the time. A woman doesn't have to. They can enjoy. They don't have to be constantly anxious. They can chill a little bit. It's supposed to be that way. I'm not saying women shouldn't be aware and have awareness, but obviously it's just different. So you need a strong man. You're not going to put up with the stupid shit if you have a dude saying, no, that's fucking retarded. So the stupid shit, it's like, no, that's dumb. That's a dumb thing, because women will vote and they'll make decisions based on emotion, and that's not how you run a society. You don't. You know why how being a woman is important? Should you have a wonderful society in your house? Absolutely. Why are women so agreeable or emotionally or community? Because they're raising children. They're compassionate. They're loving. They're supportive. It's like, that's what it's supposed to be. And when you don't have that purpose, you're going to be fearful and afraid and anxious all the time. And you're on SSRIs, you're garbage media, ultra processed media. You're not going outside. You're not exercising. You're not getting quality sleep. You're just and you're on all these medications, and you're just poisoning your body. You're poisoning your body physically and mentally and emotionally. And then someone says, look, there's the bad person. Get him. I'm angry. That's all they're doing. So they're drones. And they have no other option but to be a drone because they've been lied to. So it's unfortunate when you see people that, like that video, I know I'm just wrapping this up, but at the end it's like, these are people trying to sell you and they're, the government, the power, and they're, yeah, she has that part right. She has that part right, but the entire premise and the foundation is completely backwards. Like that person, that woman is like a hardcore conservative, but she doesn't realize it. And she can't be that, because if she admits to herself that she did this to herself and she fucked up and it's over, it would blow her brain apart. So it has to be someone else's fault. It can't be her responsibility, because that would just undermine and erase her entire operating system. And if you break apart someone's foundational grasp on reality, they just can't even look at themselves. They can't self-assess. They can't see the bias. They can't see the lies and the manipulation. So anyway, good rant. Let's do a throwback and then we'll give away today's swole card. What do you hear? What do you say? All right, let's do this. Dun, 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 dun. Drum roll.
What's in the box?
Throwback. Good rant. Felt good. Felt pure. Let's see what we got here. Which could be the stupidest thing? Ooh, they're all so stupid. They're all so good. I don't know what this is. Let's do this one.
Yeah, technically a gender-affirming piercing can be any piercing that you get that affirms your gender. Think of, earlobe piercings for women.
Yeah, no.
But when a lot of people say this term, they're referring specifically to piercings that help with bottom dysphoria for trans people. The specific piercings that I got are inner labes.
Oh, good God.
A lot of trans masculine people will get these piercings and get them done at a large gauge and wear big heavy jewelry in it, and it can emulate balls.
Well, that's creepy.
Oh!
Tell me more about that.
And when you're wearing this type of jewelry and these piercings, it can affect the way that you have to sit and stand and walk in a way that makes your body language appear more masculine.
Kids these days.
A lot of people also just find it really affirming to have that physical weight there.
That's not true.
Jesus Christ.
I know that's not.
And emulate balls. So you're stretching out your puss lips. Oh, God. So you're waddling because it hurts to sit down and to walk. This is a mental illness. Okay. Oh, my God. Yo, I don't have to walk differently because I have a ball sack. They're not heavy. They're not heavy. You know why? Because they're part of your body. They're not heavy. Balls aren't heavy. Do they have weight? Sure, they're part of your body. It's not like I have to waddle because I have testicles. I mean, you can't. If you have like elephantitis or something, yeah, one of those guys that has like a goiter on their ball sack. Jesus Christ! People have this weird concept of what it is. Again, that doesn't make you a man. Yeah, I like to have the feeling of balls down there. So you put big old gauge hoops in your pussy lips so it feels like you have a ball sack. That's gross. That's a mental disorder. That's sick fucking shit. Anyone that's doing piercings and doing stuff for people like that, you're just facilitating a mental disorder. If you have an addiction to a drug, we're not like, hey, do as much. Well, I guess if you're in Philadelphia or New York, you're like or Portland, you're passing out needles. So I guess I can't really say what you are or not doing. But if someone's an alcoholic, you're not like, here, drink as much as possible. Let's go out drinking, bro. And you know someone has a drinking problem, unless you hate that person. Yeah, this is just gross. That's nonsense. Church is like pawing at me like, can we stop? This is ridiculous. I know. Is it too much? Is it too much? I know. She's like, this is ridiculous. It's too much, right? Is it too much? These videos are too much. You're not impressed. Are we done? Are we done? Are we done with the show? She's not impressed at all. She's like, You want kisses? Not impressed. All right. The church tree. Not impressed at all. Doesn't give a shit. Okay, let's give away today's swole card. We went long as usual because, well, that's kind of what we do. So let's give this swole card away. Are you ready? Hashtag Game Train for a chance to win today's swole card. That was pretty insane. Well, speaking of Game Train, it sounds like it's happening just right. Today's winner on Zaroom Blake, Krista Sparkles. How about that?
Congratulations!
How about that? How about that? How about that? Krista Sparkles said, when I was fat, it hurt to tie my shoes and I had to hold my breath and lean back Weird to buckle my ski boots. Fat is not healthy. Hashtag gain train. I like it. 100% true. Krista, send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swole card 3008 in the subject, your mailing address in the body of the email. We'll send you the Swole card. Fam, thank you so much for being here. Reminder, tomorrow is Roundtable 73, so the episode will be private. Join the fam over at swolenormousx.com, and plus get in on the ground level and be the first to be notified as a member when the app drops. It's going to be absolute fire. I know we answered some questions earlier about the app, but it's better than even that. It's even better than that. Before you leave, make sure you hit the thumbs up button on the way out. If you're on Rumble, you exit out of the chat. You have to, I really wish Rumble would have the thumbs up ability if you're in the chat, but you have to close the chat and then hit the thumbs up button. So hit the thumbs up button no matter where you are watching. But if you have not yet subscribed to the podcast on Spotify, please do so. You can also listen on Apple Podcasts, but Spotify is better. You could watch it there too, and you'll be there for all the episodes that even aren't the live streams during the week. So make sure you subscribe over there and leave a 5-star review if you enjoy the show. And how can you not enjoy the show? We're here to make sick fucking gains every day. Go enjoy your P3S10. Everyone's getting this. Everyone's getting the P3S10 and they're opening it. So very stoked. I'm sure we'll start seeing pictures soon, but everyone's, still allowing people to be surprised. So stay swole, go to the fucking gym. And I saw this earlier in the Telegram chat. Let me give you one for the road.
60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Some people were missing some of those soundboards. So you'll get them. You'll get them. They're there. They're there. We're coming up on a new phase of soundboards. So don't worry about that. We'll see you tomorrow for the roundtable at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Peace, McGee's, Deuce, Magoose, your boy Papa Swolio. Out.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808s, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like...
Yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint, yeah. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. Off topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons out closets and making new deposits. I'm in my element, no ollies, you children.